So, hello, my name is Tom Williamson and I'm here today representing Wi-Fi Sheep. Now, some of you may have known me from my previous company, Ident Computer. Originally, Wi-Fi Sheep was the media offspring of Ident Computer, but boy, have things changed. I think the last time I was here at London was, I want to say about 3 years ago, I think the last time I did a presentation here. So things have changed a little bit, and that's what I want to bring you all up to speed with today. And also kind of what's been going on kind of behind the scenes in the past year. It's been a very, very busy year. First of all, Wi-Fi Sheep on YouTube. So we are primarily a YouTube tech channel, so it's youtube.com/Wi-Fi Sheep. And we're called that because we're based in Shropshire, which is in the Welsh Marches, West Midlands Welsh Marches area. Very, very rural place. There's more sheep than people. Even I keep some livestock. You know, we are technically all farmers. So that's kind of the tongue-in-cheek name we came from. But we are a relatively successful and hugely growing YouTube tech channel. And we do cover a wide base of different systems, computing projects, electronic projects. But we also have quite a friendly emphasis on Acorn hardware and also RISC hardware. Hence why I'm here today. A quick word on our corporate sponsor. So PCBWay are a Chinese PCBWay manufacturing company, and they make obviously PCBs for the hobbyist market and the light industry. They came on board early in the year and actually now sponsor Wi-Fi Sheep. So we entered into a financial agreement with them, and their kind sponsorship actually pays for a lot of the content, allowing us to make more content, more programming that we can release free for you all to enjoy. A quick overview then of our commercial partners and how exactly Wi-Fi Sheep works and is funded. So I've already mentioned PCBWay, and also what I can announce, and this is the news, is I'm very happy to announce that we are partnering with RISC OS Developments, and we've been working in secret with them for the past year on some new projects, which I'm actually going to be the one to break the news and announce today. I must stress I don't work for RISC OS Developments, I'm purely a private contractor, so when ARCOMP do their talk, which is after mine, they'll be able to answer all the filling questions about that, but I can go over the project and what we've been working on. Our YouTube channel is also funded by the Google AdSense or AdScene system, so those of you that aren't running the ad blocker on your web browsers, you may notice there's some television ads that come up in amongst our videos. I actually get a chunk of that revenue, and again, it's a bit like the ITV commercial model, and that helps pay for our video feed and content. And we do run a Patreon platform. For those of you that aren't familiar with Patreon, it's a pay social media platform where people can actually donate money to a creator that they want to support. So people can say, oh, we like your content, we'd like to give you X amount of dollars per month. And in exchange for that, we actually do release some projects, some products that you can actually download for a small fee. It's all in US dollars. We're talking no more than about $8 at the moment. And that just all helps, goes into kitting, helps us produce the content and fund the service. So it's free, and what can really, really help us is to subscribe. So if you haven't done so or haven't heard of us, it's youtube.com/Wi-Fi Sheep. And if you have a YouTube account, which is free to register and set up, you can just click the subscribe button. That's not a monetary thing. It's more like subscribing to a newsletter. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps us an awful lot, because the Google system, Google own YouTube, it's all about numbers. The more numbers we get, the more successful we can be and the more revenue we can actually earn just by your participation, by subscribing. So please, please, please do support us in the bare minimum by subscribing to our channel. Okay, Ident Computer, what happened? Where is it? And why is it not here? So Ident Computer was the brand we started with, and originally we were a manufacturer of RISC OS and other kit-based systems. The Micro One, which was the first product we released a good few years ago now, has gone through a bit of a transition, and it's now turned itself into software. And what I mean by that is it's now a downloadable PDF file to build the new mark of the Micro One out of foam board. And we offer this on our Patreon service. So you pay $6, you get a PDF file that you can download, print out onto A4, and we have a whole video on Wi-Fi Sheep about how to actually build a mock-up microcomputer based around the Raspberry Pi and very easy off-the-shelf parts. So that's what we did with that product. The main reason being is the original Micro 1, and I do appreciate those of you that did buy the original product, but it was expensive for what it was, and I wanted a more mass appeal, cheaper product. I have an international audience now, so the cheaper way to do it is actually send people stuff physically through the wire, if you like, and digital downloads, even the physical, tangible objects, is definitely the way forward and the way we're going to push products going forward. So there it is, as I said, it's a downloadable, unlockable PDF file, and it's $6 tier on our Patreon. Now, a quick legal note, Patreon is a subscription service. So you pay once, you can download everything, and then if you don't unsubscribe, it will charge you again and again and go like that. Some people, that's fine. If you want to support the channel, we obviously appreciate that. For others, you may just want to make the one payment, get the goods, and then you can unsubscribe. You're not contractually obliged to stay. And so it's one payment or multiple payments. It all helps us all along, and we give some back in return. Now, this is new to you at London. This product's been out a little while, the iDent Compact Edition. This was the machine that replaced the Micro 1, and it was our first 3D print machine. And it originally came in 3 form factors. And again, it was a kit for the Raspberry Pi, and we actually still own all the 3D printers and the plastics machines ourselves, so it was all internally manufactured. And what we did 2 years ago now is I entered a licensing agreement with Andy Marks at RISCOSBits, who's up there at the top end of the hall. Basically, myself and Andy came to the conclusion that both our businesses were very similar to each other, and we were doing enormous damage by competing in such a small market. I wanted to back out and go down the more social media route, and he was obviously doing the hardware. It made sense for him to license off the products that had value, and he could sell them through his brand, which meant we were no longer in each other's space competing. So the RISCOSBits RISC C, there we are, the compact edition. And we did a special version using RISCOSBits WiSPy system, which was a dual board system that allowed for a Linux and a Wi-Fi connection to run in tandem with RISC. Again, Andy is the one to talk about these products. He actually has them on sale. I've got my units on display on our stand, but they are actually available retail today. I don't want to name the price. I think it's got them around £30–35. The price point was always very, very low on these. They are a casing solution, so a lot of these will be about supplying your own Pi board. Now, one thing we're umming and ahhing about is the license agreement value came to an end last year, so I'm kind of doing it more out of kind at the moment. But we're thinking about the possibility of releasing the C as a download product for those who have 3D printers. Now, Wi-Fi Sheet, as I said, large international audience, and a lot of those people have 3D printers, and 3D printers are falling in price. Little desktop machines that sit next to your computer, it's a possibility. So this isn't an announcement, this is a more webinar about it. We're thinking of actually releasing the 3D files, again on Patreon for around $12, $15, possibly $20, I'm not sure at the moment. If there's enough interest, so you can actually print a C at home. And yeah, it just makes sense, it means I can distribute internationally and we can bring the cost right down, and I still make something out of it. Quick word on Nanogangs. I remember talking about Nanogangs when I was here 3 years ago now. Nanogangs is our 8-bit game project which we're creating for the BBC Micro. I came up with this concept when I was about 14 years old, didn't do anything with it, and then came back and thought it might be a fantastic idea to create a platform game for the BBC Micro written in BBC Basic. Why BBC Basic? Well, it allows the code to be easily read and understood. It's easier to understand than 6502. And we've actually had a lot of interest from the computer museums, such as Computing History, and the National Computer Museum at Bletchley Park, who are interested about running this software on their 80s suites of BBC Micros and use it as a teaching aid, because they can actually show the kids and school parties actually how this works, and it's all written in BASIC and it's actually playable. A lot of people on the forum said to me, you won't do this in BASIC, it's too slow, you can't, and I proved them wrong. So we have a stock BBC Micro Model B out there on our stand. It's running Nanogangs today, and it's actually playable, and it's no tricks, no enhancements, it's running in stock BASIC. And this gives you an idea of sort of how the level screens work. So that's 3 individual screens that build up the levels, and you scan through them. It doesn't scroll, that's the only thing. It is literally move the character across when it redraws to the next screen. And it's a work in progress. And it's also something we've featured heavily on Wi-Fi Sheet. And there we are. So that was the testing in Bletchley Park itself, and it was a real popular hit with the kids, and that kind of inspired me to get back on and get this damn game finished, because it's been there for 3 or 4 years. So a quick look at the development map for it. So we start on the BBC Micro. My plan is, obviously, if we keep it in basic, I can get it back over to RISC OS very easily, minor tweaks, and in fact we can bring all sorts of improvements in. BBC Basic, you can also get a build that runs on the x86 system, so Linux, Mac OS, Windows. I'm thinking might be a viability to port straight that way, new versions there. And then I'm also umming about doing ports for the Commodore. Now the Basic isn't directly compatible, and the Commodore runs half as slow as a BBC Micro, but they are new products on the market. I don't know if you've seen these. This came out last Christmas. There's a brand new Commodore clone. And it started life as the Commodore 64 Mini. Effectively, it's an ARM box. It runs Linux and it runs device emulator, but it's a proper retail product that you can go out and buy in, well, not Toys R Us now, but various retailers, and you can order online from Amazon. I picked one of these up, but you can actually program it. You can put BASIC into this and you can load software on and off it without needing to hack it. It supports it natively. This year, in December, they're releasing a full-blown C64, because this is just, it works, but the keyboard is just cosmetic. So it's a plug-in box. They're releasing a full-blown C64 clone. It doesn't have the license, hence it doesn't carry the Commodore name. And that's going to be a very interesting product to look at actually building some new software for. At the bottom there, I don't know if any of you are aware of Commander 16 or Commander X16. This is a project coming out of the United States from a fellow YouTuber called the 8-Bit Guy. And he is going to launch a brand new 8-bit 6502 based computing platform from scratch, built on the Commodore, not the kernel, but the BASIC, using Commodore CBM Basic 2, I believe. But it's a brand new hardware, and his channel's been following that. I've been following the private Facebook group, so I'm very interested about jumping on that, as long as the cost of it doesn't go too high. And again, it'd be a fantastic place to bring Nanogangs over. Because it's new hardware, it'll be brand new 6502 processors, so this isn't an emulator. They're talking about it running at about clock speed of about 16 megahertz, and it has a sprite engine. So, for those of you that code, you probably know that's probably fast enough to do relatively decent stuff in BASIC. So we'll see what happens with that, but I'm watching. So, what we can do, and again, this is all about supporting the project and the channel. The current build of Nanogangs, and this gets updated all the time when I do work. The SSD file, that's the disk image file for emulators, BBC Micro emulators, such as BBEM or BBIT for RISC. Or you can flash back to an SD drive and actually, or floppy disk, and run it on real hardware. We're going to make it available. It's available now. It's on our Patreon. That's patreon.com/Wi-Fi sheep, and it's on the $3 per month tier. And what we're hoping is that people will kind of dip in, take the disk image. We're also going to release some other bits on that tier as well. If you buy the Micro 1 machine, you get access to all these lower tiers as well. So it's one payment can have a lot. And we're always going to be adding new things to the channel and to the Patreon scheme. So, RISC OS distros, just to bring you up to date about what's happened or happening. So, for those of you that were customers of us when we were at RISC OS, when we were at Computer later on, RISC OS 5, this was our build that was kind of locked to our customers. This is when it was under the Castle license, and we were paying a license fee to resell the operating system. As soon as RISC OS devs bought RISC OS, we scrapped this because we were coming to the end of our hardware life as a company, and we released a free build, Wi-Fi sheet build of RISC OS 5. Now this is based on the ROM, it just has a new software layer on top and additional applications. And we made this free to download for everybody for our website for the Raspberry Pi. Compatible on all Pis other than Pi 4 at the moment, which is the same with the stock build. Now, I mentioned RISC OS Developments, and this is kind of where the news is, and this is the first time people are going to hear this today. We've been working with RISC OS Developments, we've had meetings, and I'm pleased to announce that RISC OS Developments are going to release a brand new official stock build of RISC OS themselves, and I've been working with their engineering team. Some of my code is actually in the new build, and they're taking a lot of the setup and build features of the RISC OS, the Wi-Fi sheet build. Basic app, which is a little app that just boots BASIC from the desktop, is now included. Additional open source tools and applications are going to be included, sort of things like emulators, other software models, that kind of thing. So basically, what was in the Wi-Fi sheet build is being ported over into a brand new official build. So it's very, very exciting. So compiled in-house by RISC OS Developments Limited. This, for us, will officially replace our Wi-Fi sheet build, so we will discontinue our build and support the official build from RISC OS Developments. So for now, and probably for the final time, you can download our build. If you want to have a preview of what the new build's going to be like when it comes out, ident on dashonline.co.uk/computer, and you click RISC OS and download our build. And there's going to be a lot of the setup features. Also, I've had direct talks with the engineers, and people like Andrew and Richard Brown. Unfortunately, she's not here today. We've had sit-down meetings. I've talked to them about a lot of things I find wrong with RISC OS, and we've tried to have a look at addressing them. This is a build designed for a new market, which comes back to the second part of our announcement, is RISC OS Direct. And this is going to be a brand new video series produced by Wi-Fi Sheep, presented and hosted by myself, and it's going to cover all aspects of using RISC OS and becoming a modern Acorn user. And it is my understanding that the official build from will also be called RISC OS Direct. So you're going to have the official, RISC OS Developments official build will also carry the same brand, and there's going to be a synergy between the two. So it'll be a brand new and free video series, produced by myself, Wi-Fi Sheep, designed for new users, based around the Raspberry Pi, showcasing the OS software interface and basic programming, platform to demo software and commercial products. So we'll also be using it as a place to actually show other third-party software and basically open everything up to a brand new user base. Brand new international audience. 6 episodes are in the making. The pilot has already been shot. We're just fine-tuning a few details with everyone in the know, and it should be out very shortly. So we're planning episodes to appear on the Wi-Fi Sheep channel from December and January, and there's a plan to actually put some of these episodes onto the new RISC OS Developments RISC OS Direct build for Pi. So you're going to have a video tutorials actually there embedded in the OS. So that's just about it for me. Again, I can't answer any questions directly relating to RISC OS Developments, so Andrew will be the best person who's coming up next to talk about that. So obviously like and subscribe to us at youtube.com/Wi-Fi Sheep. The website address for us has slightly changed. It's now thewifisheep.co.uk. And you can, of course, if you'd like to make a financial contribution, you can do so on patreon.com/Wi-Fi Sheep. And you can follow us on Twitter. It's at Wi-Fi Sheep on Twitter. Thank you very much. I hope that was clear. I know I minced my words a little bit, but any questions that I can answer?
I think you've used them all.
This happened in a few presentations this year. Yeah. I speak. Oh, hello. Yes.
Just to clarify, are the RISC OS Direct videos free, or are they subscribed?
They will be free. They will be free. They're partly paid for by my income through Wi-Fi Sheep, and RISC OS Developments have put up the remaining money to make this series. It's not technically a commissioned series, it's a sponsored series, so it was always going to be a Wi-Fi Sheep project. RISC OS Developments have come on board and have put in a third chunk of money to sponsor it, and so we made a few changes, so it works for them, it works for us. But it will be free on our YouTube channel. The videos will be embedded into the RISC OS Developments website, and it's still the plan we'll have at least part of the series getting started will be embedded in the new RISC OS build for the Pi.
Where does the new version of RISC OS, the RISC OS Direct version, leave the rule version?
Good question, and you can understand for political reasons I'm not going to answer that, because that's out of my remit.
Next presenter is Andrew Rodsmith.
He can answer all those sorts of questions, so yeah. But I obviously checked with Andrew this morning before releasing his information, so.
You couldn't answer it last year when I asked the same question.
Yeah.
Not quite the same.
Not quite the same question.
A very, very similar question.
Yeah, well, last year was more about our own build, and our own build came about as a frustration with just rules build, you take rules build out of the RISC OS community and you plonk it in a school, or do the things that I've done with it, and there's real problems with people just not getting it. The middle click thing for people, immediately they didn't like. It was a nightmare, and I've taken a real pounding by people. I've been banned from some events, as in don't bring this crap into our event again, you know. So it's been that bad. So our build came about as frustration, said, right, let's make this more palatable. And we did a lot of user testing, just people coming back to me, you know, I've sat in front of kids, teenagers, young adults at various tech demos and things like that, and they just said, don't like this, don't like that. And many of these are various Raspberry Pi jams I support, so these are people I've got to know over the years and come back. So we've all got the same user group, but these are young people. Now, I've met them when they were 14, they're now 17, going on young adults now, so we've kind of tried to build this around them. And it's about taking that forward, and that's why I offered all that data to RISC OS Developments for them to build a new build and say, that's why we sat down and talked at great length about the usability and how we're going to package this to make it more appealing and have a much wider appeal. I also got direct feedback from RISC OS, people commenting who had downloaded the Wi-Fi sheet build and actually said, yeah, we like this over the official stock build. So you can't argue with that data. That's what was coming back all the time. So.
What are the major differences that you would notice if you went to the Wi-Fi sheet or
the Wi-Fi sheet build has, first of all, has a lot of the applications pinned straight to the pin board along the bottom. So we assume most people are more or less comfortable with a mouse and double clicking. So they think, oh, I like the Paint application, I'm going to double click it on the desktop. Because if you don't have anything on there, it's not obvious to click on the apps. I know that sounds stupid, but people just sit there, they're looking for the start of the My Computer or the Raspberry Pi. When they click on the Pi logo, it's on Raspbian, which is the official Linux build, that acts a bit like a start menu on Windows. So they're doing exactly the same thing and then clicking the Pi cog logo and then just getting the memory map data. And then this whole thing of middle clicking through people. So in the pilot, the very first thing we've done is actually say, right, you middle click to do this, this, and this. And I know for those, you know, I assume you're all RISC OS users. So I'm probably sounding like a complete idiot here. But for people who do not know, it's a real problem. And I've been saying this to the engineers, I've been saying this to Andrew, I'm saying it, you know, to a few people. So don't just assume nothing. Let's start again and let's fix these issues. So let's get people up and running with this. So that's one of the main features. We've also got software. There's software on board, FTP agents, emulators. So BBEM emulator. I'm going to check the licensing on that because I haven't got confirmation. The Wi-Fi sheet had emulators fitted, so you could actually run ZX Spectrum PC software. You could just run retro stuff, which is what a lot of casual Pi users want. So it's trying to bring people into the platform any which way we could. So that's just one of the. There's some other stuff under the bonnet, but that's fundamentally it. So, okay, shock and awe, I know. Okay, I think we're good. So, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you.